Hello everybody, October 7th, 2022. Let's take a look at Bitcoin's action for the week. First, on Monday, video was titled, "The Chop Will Continue." I think that has been a very appropriate title. We were looking for a couple different scenarios here. If we stayed below 20.2, bears could be making an ending diagonal down to sub 18. Obviously, we didn't stay above 20 or below 22. Option number two, if we break above 20.2, that's just going to reset our green B, which was right here. Slightly higher, maybe 20.5, up in even to 21.5 would have been okay. And then the bears could take over and move us down to sub 18K. So I think that's what we're looking at right now. And because this is all chop, realistically it could still go up higher into this area. I'm not saying that is necessarily over, although it kind of looks like the bears want to take over, but we shall see. And then the final possibility, very unlikely, but the bulls could put in 5 waves and tell us the bottom is already in. But I think most likely we're going sub 18. It's just a matter of how long and drawn out it wants to make things. So again, very much looking like that is correct at this point in time. Just wanted to drag things out a bit. So I'm looking now. Originally this was our B wave here. We went slightly higher than that. Didn't even quite hit 20.5. It was like 20,450 or so, but close enough anyway. So reset the B wave basically. And I am looking now for a C wave down, or if it pushes up higher again, I'm still going to be looking for this C wave down, basically, from this high here. This is our A, here's our B, and so we're looking for a C wave down, into this area here, essentially. I'm sorry, that's from the top there, not from there. Let me redraw that from here. This is A and B to that point right there. So here's our box between the 618 and the 1236. So that's 17.8 down to 15.4. At this point, it would make the most sense to just break this low back here, about 17.6. I see kind of temporarily breaking that low to take out all of the stop losses below that. Probably cause a liquidation, stop loss hunt, kind of pushing down maybe even into the 16s before seeing recovery. But I think we do need that final flush in order to turn things bullish again. The problem lies in that below 15.7 is very problematic for the macro viewpoint. Below 15.7, that pretty much breaks the larger time frame chart, so I really would prefer to stay above that. So, hoping that the C wave basically gets sort of, just the middle of this. Maybe we break down just very briefly, sub 17 would be great, and then we can see the bulls take over from there. But the bulls have a lot of proving to do in order to actually tell us the bottom is in. So essentially, I'm looking to erase all of this action by making a lower low, lower than that 17.6. We can ignore all of that crappy action then, and this will look like a very completed correction downwards where the bulls could potentially take over. And as far as the higher time frame chart goes, they really should take over from there. But we need to let the action play out and see what happens. So all of that being said, let's zoom in real closely here and try to determine whether this B wave is actually done or not. We've got lots and lots of corrective action in here. This was a nice ABC up. It looks like it's turned into a larger corrective pattern where I've got this red box drawn here as the target for that correction to end. And then we had, a smaller degree ABC here. That's where I have this box drawn as the smaller degree, ABC up. So, all of that being said, we've definitely met the necessary requirements to call this a completed correction anywhere in here, and the bears can take over and push down at this point. If you're looking kind of more traditional technical analysis, we can look at this trend line, and you can see obviously we've broken that trend line now as well, so it would make sense from multiple standpoints at this point for this to continue downwards and not make a new high. Now, nothing about this action has been highly predictable. So, even though we've got ABC here and then we've come down there, ABC up, but maybe this is still doing C. Maybe we're going to go up higher. I mean, that's certainly a possibility. This is all choppy action. And let me go down like real low time frame here, 5 minute, see if we have anything clear. And we really do not. Best case scenario for the bears is that this is 1 and 2. Let's see what that does for us with the fib extension. Really hard to make out a micro count, but this could potentially still be on the way for 3 if it's going to be impulsive, which, it's been so choppy, maybe it's not going to, but I would expect to see this continue down to about 19. If it's going to be impulsive, then a little bounce, and then down to about 18.8. And that would probably be the micro first wave, meaning if we can get that in an impulse, which again I can't guarantee we're going to, but that would basically be our first wave. Then we'd get a second wave correction up, then we could get the third wave down, fourth wave up, fifth wave down, and head down into that 16K area. But we'll have to wait and see if that actually does play out like that. I'm just proposing it as a possibility right now. It's also at this point equally possible that this just kind of continues straight down into that area, doesn't do that. Certainly possible this is all just an ABC and we go up a little bit higher from here before heading down. So realistically, I cannot give an extremely clear path right now, but this is kind of what I'm watching to see if maybe we can fill this out. It would be nice to get kind of a clear path downwards. So I hope that it plays out, but I can't guarantee that it's going to. In any case, like I said, pretty much no matter what happens here, I'm expecting lower. Even if we push up just a little bit higher here, I will expect it to go down still. And the only way that the bulls can really do anything about that is if this turns into 1, 2, this would have to be ABC of 3, and we'd have to get above that red box, then come down for a 4, and then head up for a 5, and this would have to make a new diagonal off the low. But I view that as a really low probability, and it's not going to be a pretty pattern no matter what, because we've really broken down too far at this point for this to be the leading diagonal that we were kind of hoping for initially. We've just come down way too far for that to be the case since we hit that 18.1 area there. And so the most likely outcome, again, is that we break down below that low and kind of try to reset everything. That's going to be the best case scenario for the bulls. Kind of weirdly, conversely, it's actually more bullish for this to break down and reset so we can ignore all the crappy action that's happened before. And then really what we have to wait for is a new 5-wave to form. Hopefully this does continue downwards into this area, and then we see a strong 5-wave move from there that we can actually play, and buying the pullback after that happens is the highest probability and highest risk reward option that we have. Now, that being said, with 15.7 being my line in the sand, I'm certainly going to be accumulating down in this area, and I'll just be ready to stop out below 15.7, or potentially if it breaks down, looking at kind of just getting out break even on a bounce, basically. That's my personal plan. Obviously, you have to make your own plan that you're happy with, but that's pretty much all I can say at this point, is that I'm waiting for those lower lows to accumulate again. And realistically, I'll probably accumulate spot buys here and then wait for leverage longs until we actually get a new 5-wave move up and then a 3-wave move down, and that would be the place for leverage longs there on that pullback. All right, I think that pretty much sums up everything. Again, unfortunately it's all crap action, so I can't give clear paths right now, but I'll keep tracking as best I can what's going on here to see if we can get an idea of when more exactly this correction is going to be over. Hopefully that's going to give us some clarity here in the next week or two, but we'll have to just wait and see. All right, everybody, you have a good weekend. I will talk to you on Monday.